Hi. I'm Paul Winfield, and I'm William Marshall's cousin. That my mother used to love to say. He's your cousin. He's your cousin. Well, tell the casting manager that he's your cousin. I never did. I never got a job because I was his cousin. Never worked. I never thought it would, and it never did. But I was always proud that he was my cousin. I went to see every movie that he was in. I like to say that I'm an actor because of it. I felt that I could, if he could do it, I could do it. Not really. But but he did help me a lot as a symbol or as something that was held before me. We worked together in Chicago at the Goodman Theater in Ibsen's Enemy of the People, two brothers. I was supposed to be the good brother, and he was supposed to be the bad brother, but he always came off as the good brother, and I was the bad brother. He taught me an awful lot about, he used to say, "No, Paul, don't worry about matinee lunches. There's a lot of young women that I know that will fix them for you. Warm. And bring them to the theater for you." And I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Don't worry about it." And sure enough, I had hot lunches twice a week. I saw 3 productions of his Othello. I stole from every one. It was you steal from the best. I mean, if it was really good, and it was good. So I learned an awful lot. He came to see a production of mine at Los Angeles City College down the street here, and I had a big party, and I asked him to come, and he did. He came to see at the cast party. And the different young ladies would say, "Paul, did you know that your cousin?" I said, "Yes, he's here." And they said, "Did you see his card, his business card?" I said, "No." They said, "Well, look, read it." And I said, "Okay." And it said, "William Marshall, the world's greatest Othello." The London Times. I said, "Well, you got it. Did he sign it for you?" Yes, he did, and his phone number on it, too. He was a wonderful man. And of course, I got a few notes from him, and he recognized that I had stolen a few little bits of his stuff here and there. But he didn't hold it against me. He said, if you can use it, go ahead. And I did. Bill, I should say also, there's one thing before I forget, that he was a wonderful, generous man. I want to say that William was a wonderful man. He was generous. He was very talented. Had a wonderful, wonderful voice. He was, I'm very proud, not only just to be his cousin, but to count him as a wonderful friend and mentor, and a great actor. Really a wonderful, great actor. Thank you. introduce my ex-boss, Marla Gibb.
Hi. Thoughts of William. You know, as when I was in Chicago and I wasn't in the business, I saw most of William's films, and I was a fan. I had a crush on William. Oh, this voice, this presence. He was so marvelous. And then I came out to LA, and I was studying down at Mafundi in Watts. And one day I looked in one of the rooms, and there was William Marshall. He was teaching and lecturing. We just stood there mesmerizing. We didn't dare go in the room. We just watched him. And then as time went on, working with Horace Tapscott, I got to meet William and Sylvia. And went to their house, and one of the most impressive things was William came over to the car and said, "Taste this," and gave me one of the figs, the Calamara figs that grew on the lot. And oh, it was just fabulous. And of course, there was a pool that you can slide into from the house, which I did not slide into because I cannot swim. So, but I watched. And then we saw William do Blackula. And I said, what a shame he got all these accolades doing Blackula after all this great classical work that he's done, and such a historian. But he managed to take that role and make it something that we could all be proud of. He put a backstory on that. And I remember we were in the theater, my daughter and I, and he was, you know, Mama Waldy. And he was saying, "Come to me," and we were all saying, "Take me, bite me." I think all the women just fell in love with Blackula. They didn't care. He was going to bite them and take them to the beyond. We wanted to go. And then William graciously, we were so honored to have him come and teach at the Vision, which was a school we had in Leimert Park. And some of the children didn't know who he was, so I said, let's get some film and show them before he comes in the pre-session. Let's show them some film on their teachers, because they have no idea what a great man they have for an instructor. So we did that. And then when he came, they were mesmerized. They were all quiet. They all listened. And I think to this day, most of them have gone on to be quite successful. I run into their parents, and their parents are telling me what they're doing, even the postmaster. And I think they have William to thank for that, because he gave them such a history of who they are and what they have available to them. And I remember traveling to San Diego to see William do Othello. And I said, there is no other Othello. Sorry about that. But then there's no other Paul Winfield. All right. Whom I also had the honor of working on stage and in television with. And also had an honor of working with William on television as my date, who we all thought was a murderer. And we were all trying to get me out of this date because we thought he was a killer. And so William had the ability to do the comedic, to do all these wonderful roles. He was just such an icon. Well, I'm sure we'll never see the likes of him again. But of course, we will see people that he has influenced to greatness, to do great things. So anyway, thoughts of William will always be with me. And I have another little anecdote. William had an excerpt, a play that he was doing on Christoph from the screenplay that he always wanted to do. And I'm always sorry that he never really got an opportunity to bring that to the screen, because William loved that role. And he was Christoph. We were doing the play, and he and Paula Kelly was the queen, and I was watching them, and I was so mesmerized They were so fabulous. And I was the courier, and I was supposed to deliver the letter. And came time for the letter, and I'm watching them, and William said, I'm expecting a letter. Where could the courier be with the letter? I'm just looking and saying, most embarrassing moment of my life. I finally came to and gave them the letter. I never got over, but he was so gracious. He never mentioned it. But William was just such a marvelous human being, and I got to talk with him a lot. And I'm sure everyone who had the opportunity to speak with William and to be in his presence and to be influenced by him, it will be with them always. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Marla. In happiness. I thank you for the love you each have shown, but now it's time I travel on alone. So grieve a while for me if grieve you must. Then let your grief be comforted by trust. It's only for a while that we must part, so bless the memories within your heart. I won't be far away, for life goes on, so if you need me, call and I will come. Though you can't see me or touch me, I'll be near. And if you listen with your heart, you will hear. All of my love around you, soft and clear. And then, when you must come this way alone, I'll greet you with a smile and welcome you home.